Good morning, America. My name is Brian James Blam, and this is my public service announcement on the importance of voting in person rather than voting by mail. Okay, voting is a fundamental right, people. It affects how much your retirement account is worth, your 401k, whatever the case may be. It affects your job. It affects the price of gas. It affects the value of your home, whether or not you can even get one. Okay, it affects the interest rates. It affects every bit of your life, including whether or not your children eat bugs at school for lunch or get lap dances from strange individuals at recess. Okay, vote in person, folks, and this is why you should vote in person. Okay, when you vote in person, the chain of custody between you and your ballot going into that machine is really you. You go to the polling place, you sign into the electronic poll book, and they give you your ballot. You walk over to the little privacy booth and you vote that ballot, and then you take your ballot and you shove it in the machine. All right? There ain't a whole lot can go wrong there, folks. Given the price of gas under the Biden administration, you could run out of gas and have to walk the polls, but you still get there by walking. You could be Joe Biden, Mr. Dementia, and have to have your wife Jill Biden drive you to the polls because you didn't even know how to get there. You don't even know it's election day. You might have to have her vote your ballot because, well, you don't know who any of the damn candidates are and you might screw up. And B, you don't even know where the machine's at. So you got to have your wife hold your hand while you take your ballot over there and then she shoves it in the machine for you. Okay, that could go wrong, but most of us are normal folks. When we go to vote, we know what a ballot is, we know how to sign into the poll books, and we know how to stick it in the machine, right? What else could go wrong? The machine can count it wrong, but we can take a look at that later, okay? What happens when you vote by mail? Well, the county sends all of your data electronically to a third-party company, a non-governmental organization that now has your personal information. They then print you a ballot and they give it to the United States Postal Service. Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Here's why. The United States Postal Service has a union that's over 60,000 strong. Okay? It is a very partisan union. They support Democrats up and down the ticket, and they give Democrat candidates money. Who did they endorse in 2020 for the presidential election? Joe Biden. Happened to be the largest vote-by-mail election in the history of the United States, especially in the swing states, including Arizona. Okay? You give your ballot information to the U.S. Postal Service, you might not see your ballot. Let's say you do, though. It works its way through the Postal Service process, winds up going to your personal postal carrier, right? This is something else that's really stupid, right? The Biden administration gave them a freebie. U.S. Postal Service employees did not have to get vaccinated with the experimental COVID vaccine, right? Who did? Our service members had to get vaccinated. That or they're kicked out of the United States Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines. Thank y'all. God bless. Right? Why did they get that benefit when our soldiers, those people who defend our country, did not? After all, how often you got a soldier coming in your house? You don't. How often you got a Postal Service employee visiting you? 5, 6 times a week, whether it's home or your business? You see them all over the place. Why weren't they required to get vaccinated? But that's sort of tangential, a little bit off the point. But anyway, let's say your Postal Service guy delivers your ballot to your house and you voted, right? You give it back to the Postal Service, right? Your little Postal Service guy takes it back to the post office where then they process it and it winds up going to whoever knows how many places throughout the Postal Service before they actually send it back to a third-party company, right? The same third-party company who has your private personal information. They then email a copy of it to the county so they can verify the signature, okay? The signature verification process in 2020, it's our understanding, a number of people were fired for not actually verifying signatures, right? We're trying to get that information to the county, but they're not giving it up. But anyway, that's beside the point. This is a convoluted system, folks. This is easy. And when you're talking about your fundamental right to vote, your fundamental right to decide whether or not you're going to have high interest rates, whether or not inflation's going to be ticking through the roof, whether or not the price of gas is going to be affordable so that you don't have to choose between food and gas for your children, whether or not you want clothing, okay, whether you're going to go to war, whether or not you're going to spend trillions of dollars sending to the Ukraine. My God, people, what on earth is going on? When you give your ballot to the United States Postal Service, your kid's going to be eating bugs and getting lap dances from strange people during recess. And that's going to be on you, not me. Vote in person, folks. It's important. It's a fundamental right.